In this video, I'm going to share 5 common mistakes you can make when performing the jab on your own. The jab is fast. It should sting your opponent and usually is done with a follow-up. You can often get this wrong if you don't follow the right guidelines. Now, with my 35 years of experience in the martial arts, I developed an edge in the art of Jeet Kune Do. So I'm going to be sharing more on a self-defense level than I am going to share on a, let's say, competitive level. Now, I want you to stay tuned until the end so I can share a drill that you can perform at home, and you can refer back to this video anytime you need to improve the quality of the training. So let's get started. The first thing I want you to do is to have fun with this. If you're going to work on fitness, that's great. If you're going to work on maybe a self-defense aspect, the whole idea when you're training in this is to have fun, which leads me to the base of your structure. You can't have a sloppy base where your knees are bent and you're swinging your punches and you're throwing your jabs this way. In order for you to have a very good jab, your structure has to be in place. And it comes down to keeping your knees nice and relaxed, but not too stiff, not too rigid, not too flat-footed. If you're not relaxed in your body, then it will show in your punch, which then interrupts your speed. The important thing is to get those muscles to stop tensing. If maybe you're lifting a lot of weights and then everything's really tight, so therefore your neural systems are used to just, or your muscles are also remembering to stay tight. And the third thing behind that is you want to relax what's in your mind. If you're coming at this the wrong way, the wrong mentality, it will really show in your movements. So the mind has to be at ease, very calm, in order for you to perform this. When you come into training, everything has to be shifted to yourself. I want you to drive those shoulders down, relax them, blade the body just a little bit and bring the hands up at this level. This hand can move around, this hand can also move around, just as long as they're not open. You're not opening here, you're here, just relax. Common mistake number 2 is not knowing what a telegraphic punch is versus a non-telegraphic punch. Now, when you're throwing a jab and if you're throwing it in this manner, you probably don't even are aware that you are doing it telegraphically. Not that there's an issue with it. What I'm saying is, what can your opponent see by the time you're throwing that jab? And if they're going here with that shoulder going first, raising that elbow up and striking, well, there is a sign that you can read and you can now move. Versus a non-telegraphic punch, what I've learned over the years in the Art of JKD is that I'm keeping my elbow in this way, nice and tight and relaxed, and watch what happens in comparison to the other one. It's a big difference. You can't tell what's happening because I'm leading with that hand first in comparison to here. If you really think about it, if you have a punching bag in front of you and you want to hit through it, you will clench to throw it as strong as possible. And also too, you usually have this rhythm, and that rhythm in itself will have a telegraphic punch. So then what I teach my students is to be as little as possible and drive your body into it. So it's something like this. So all I want you to do is keep that hand to when you're striking, and yes, it is in a vertical position, right? Right now we're just looking at, let's say, how to reduce the amount of telegraph by simply throwing that punch out. So if I'm going to throw this punch, it's just nice and easy. And then you also, don't forget, you're putting your body into it. Bruce Lee noted that you throw your entire body into any strike. It's not the limbs themselves. So when you have this standard jab, you'll notice that they're using a different guard when you go for a lead jab. Just some emphasis with body weight. But then when you start applying the straight lead, now you have all your body weight to this punch before you land. Number 3 is having too much rhythm in your pace. In other words, you're going right into the same thing, the same thing, the same thing, 1, 2, 3, and just keep going fast. Now, for performance reasons, okay, that's great, but you want to be able to have some silence into your motions. Your body needs to relax, going back to structure, number 1, but also to have silence before you're hitting. Because if you're often going same rhythm, then you're not learning the natural aspects of broken rhythm. And that's where feinting and all that kind of comes into play. But right now, all you're trying to do is learn how to be as quick in your response system to land a quick jab. So let's say the same rhythm is here. Same rhythm, same rhythm. Now watch, I'll change it. See, so there is a complete change in the way the energy level is, so that way you can make your jab as unnoticeable to your opponent. Common mistake number 4 is leaning towards the punch when you're hitting. When you're overcommitting to a punch, then it becomes something else. It's not a jab. This is another topic for another time. But as far as the jab is concerned, all I wanted to do, and also too, you can land power jabs, right? If power jabs meaning like I'm going to shuffle into the target to add a little bit more emphasis behind the punch. Now, if the jab is requiring you to reach the target, then you're having to take a step. If you're too close to the target, you probably should be using a different tool, not necessarily the jab. You're jamming yourself at that point. You have to be aware of your distance of where you're going to aim at the target to hit. The last one is now learning how to evade when you throw the jab or during. Once you're used to getting that jab down, then learn how to angle, learn how to evade. This is important when doing the jab. You can't just sit there all the time and think that your opponent's not going to counter you. You can't sit there and deer in the headlights. You have to be able to say, okay, if I am imagining, I'm working by myself, and if I throw a punch, what's the counter to that? Is he going to slip? Is he going to maybe do these wild swings that we're talking about the street? You're going to have to implement footwork, obviously. And if you're interested in footwork, I'll have a video set up for you. That way you can watch it. I'm relaxed in this position, and if I have to strike with either hand, doesn't make a difference. I could go with the left, or I can go with my right. I'm backing. See, anytime I strike, you should learn to evade. The other thing too is that you recoil, because you don't want to have that hand out too long. And I'll often see this kind of a thing. You want to recoil. So it's here. Lead jab is a feeler, whip-like. As you get in, you can throw your combinations and also then proceed with a straight lead. Without a great coach, then your foundation and everything else might fall apart. Here's one of the drills that I saved for last. This is something you can perform at home, you can build yourself. You might be thinking, am I going to need an x-ray film for this? No, you can go to any office supply and pick up one of these plastic sheets. And the purpose behind this is to help you increase reaction time as well as recognition. So once you see the flat surface, you're going to hit it, develop speed when you relax. And you can shell up, you can relax, shell up like this if you want, keep the chin down and just move with ease. Now remember, martial arts teaches how to have self-respect and respect for others. The idea is to be balanced in the way you use these tools. So you have a lot of responsibilities. If you like this video, please subscribe down below and share what you're doing at home. Help me understand what you need, and that way I can provide the next material. And until then, please subscribe, hit the notification bell button, and I'll see you soon. Stay explosive.